What can you tell us about Nikita Kucherov's character that's allowed him to adapt and succeed so quickly here in North America?
Well, I don't know what I can, I guess, tell you exactly about his character. I can just tell you he does have character, and especially the ups and downs he went through last year. And I definitely wasn't easy for him, and it wasn't easy for me. And he got healthy scratched a little bit down the stretch, a couple games in the playoffs. And he was, if there was one kid that really got challenged, it was him. And you weren't sure which way he was going to go with it. And when he came back this year, he went the right way. And it's, if there's players throughout, that you look back and say, it kind of makes you proud, and he is definitely one of them. To see how far he's come, and it's not like he's had his ups and he's had his ups and downs during the year, but he's been a lot of fun this year to coach. And sometimes you got to put it in the kid's court, and you got to make the decision which way you want to go as a player, and he chose wisely.
When you look at what he's gone through, and Johnson not being drafted, and Palat being a late round pick, it's a nice example for the rest of the team, just especially with the young guys coming up, and just kind of like, you got to really earn everything here.
I don't know if it's the message. I think it's inspiring for everybody that plays the game to be able to watch one player get passed through the draft, be taken in his last draft, and then picked, I don't know what it was, second to last or whatever it was. One of the kids goes undrafted. Another one comes from another country, second rounder, gets traded in his junior career, trying to find a home, and a couple years later, all three of these guys find each other and perform a little bit of magic out on the ice together. That's inspiring. But the one thing that I guess the key component going back to Kucherov is they all have fight in them. They've all got character, and they don't take no for an answer. And so it's, I don't know, they're just a fun group to coach. And I think when you look internally at our team, and we've got guys have been drafted all over the place and played in the league for some time. But to watch them, some of our veteran guys, especially even last year's team, accept them and say, hey, these guys, not only are they good players, but they compete really hard. And I think that's the one thing that separates guys apart is how hard they compete. And it's fun. They're a fun group.
How's JT?
He's banged up, so nothing long-term serious, but he's a no-go tonight.
Game, obviously, or
yes. Yeah, it was during the game.
How much can it help them to have Vladdy up here and kind of get some of these late season games?
Well, anytime you get to play in the NHL, I think it's good for you. He's been having an exceptional year down in the American League. You need to have depth at forward. If we find our way into the playoffs this year, we're not going to, how it goes. You got to stay healthy, and if you don't, you need to have some depth. And Vladdy is depth for us for sure. You could make an argument he should be playing with us right now, because he's an NHL player, and I think he's going to find time with us down the stretch here. As we move forward, trying to battle our way into the playoffs. But the fact that he's played with us a little bit, he's familiar with us, this only helps. And but as I said, he's the next one coming through the door.
John, when you look around the Eastern Conference right now, Steven was just saying it's hard not to with the big standings board in the room. But
New addition.
Yeah. Do you feel like it's kind of wide open this year that anyone's got a chance if you catch Lightning?
I don't know how to. Is it hard to sit here and say, okay, there's the bullseye team? I don't know if there is. I think I look at teams in the Eastern Conference. I think the New York Rangers come to mind right away. The Montreal Canadiens come to mind. The New York Islanders come to, and then all of a sudden I'm like, well, Pittsburgh, and then it's like Washington, and all of a sudden I'm like, wow, everybody's really good. But if you look at them, they've all got good goaltending. They've all got exceptional defensemen, and they've got players that can put pucks in the net. And I think a lot of the teams are very similar. They all play with pace. It's different because we just came out from out west, and there is a different style of hockey in the two conferences. Out west, it's more of a controlled game. They're big, strong. Here in the East, I think it's maybe a bit more pace to the games, but they both beat each other. So teams. I see what's going on over there because they build their teams to beat each other because they have to get through there to get to the finals. And but to pick somebody in the East, I couldn't do it.
In keeping with your desire to do better in playoffs this year, keeping up this great home record you have is key there to get home ice as much as you can.
Well, yes and no, because I think I truly believe the home ice goes out the window a little bit in the playoffs. And I'm not saying that because we lost both our home games last year, but I think around the board, I don't know too many teams that run the table at home all the time in the playoffs. I think it's just everything is so heightened in the playoffs. Every shift, every TV timeout, everything from whistle to whistle. And I just think sometimes, I think the crowd can come into it at the end of games in tight situations, but I also think, just because of, as I said, the heightened pressure of the game and how into it both teams are, it kind of negates it a little bit. So I think, I truly believe our home record at home has obviously put us in the spot we are today, but I don't think you can hang your hat on home ice in the playoffs. I think you hang your hat on getting in, and then who you draw and figure out a way to beat them, play every game like it's a neutral site game.
Stephen was saying that it was embarrassing a bit what happened in the playoffs last year, but he kind of almost looks back at it now and says, I'm glad it kind of happened. It's helped us. There won't be excuses this time. Everyone's got the playoff experience. Do you think that experience was a necessary evil maybe for you guys to you have to lose to win type thing, or you just say, no, I wish we had just won?
Well, that's easy to say now because we did lose. So now I can sit here and say, yeah, well, it's going to be good for us. To be honest, we didn't want to lose. We didn't want to feel that pain, but we did. And most of the guys in the room did feel that pain. Has that been a motivator for us? I can't sit here and say for sure. But I do know if we do get into the playoffs, I think that'll be something we will draw on. And I think we've been drawing on it already just in how we're dealing with our last 20, 18, 16 games down the stretch. I think last year was a little different because there was so much swirling around our team with the trade, Stammer coming back from injury, our goaltender got hurt. So it was just disruption after disruption all the way through. This year we don't have that disruption. This is our team. We brought in Braden Coburn, who's been a seamless fit for us. There hasn't been a hiccup along the way. I know it's been short term, but I don't foresee anything other than him helping us. So I think even though we're a younger group by age and experience, we do have a little veteran in us because of what happened to us last year.
Speaking of disruptions, what's it like being mic'd up and followed around and getting a taste maybe of what Toronto guys go through?
Just looking this around, this would be, Lynn's here. It's awesome. I love being mic'd up. No, it's, you know what, when you have a great crew that's doing it, you don't even know they're there. I think that's what makes it makes it a lot of fun.
This Tampa team, March of 2013, when you came in, things were pretty down. I don't want to use the term surprise that you've come along as quickly as you have, but I guess from a Toronto perspective, I guess there's always hope moving forward in terms of rebuilding and getting to where most franchises would like to be.
So,
The question is,
after you patted me on the back for a second? Thanks for that.
What's been the key here in terms of getting back as quickly as this franchise has compared to where it was 2 years ago?
Well, I appreciate the comments. I think a lot of this happened, though, in the American League. And I think sometimes there's timing when you come into a team. Maybe my timing was a little fortuitous in the sense that I was fortunate to be with a group of players and we won together. And then we all came up together. And I think that was probably one positive thing early on we did was we were going to take our lumps with the young guys. I think that really helped us out. I think another thing that was probably a little fortuitous that goes unnoticed is that great goaltending makes coaches look good. So then soon after I arrived, we traded for Ben Bishop. So in saying that, I probably showed that I'm not that great a coach. I'm just goaltending and timing. But I think all that came together. I think we changed our mentality a little bit. I think a lot of the players coming in believed in me. I believed in them. It just was a turn of, getting the vets, on board the way we were doing things, and they jumped in. They were all hands in. So it's been a pretty good run, and hopefully this is just the beginning.